Festive mood engulfs the country on the second day of Eid al-Fitr. People staying in close proximity of relatives and friends and exploring different forms of entertainment. Infamous traffic jam is totally absent in the unknown capital city. Citizens moving to and fro without any hassle. Law enforcers watching with eagle eyes. Hundreds of visitors crowd National Zoo in Mirpur in the capital. Children, teenagers and people from all walks of life visits entertainment hubs. Awami League is enemy of Bangladesh. Fascist Sheikh Hasina inflicted oppression on all to take revenge of the assassination of her father, says Information and Broadcasting Advisor Mahfuz Alam. Bangladesh is on red map of 7 to 8 Richter quake after big earthquake rocks Myanmar, fear experts. Israeli forces kills 42 Palestinians in 24 hours in Gaza. Israel asks all to vacate Rafah city. And in Hamilton tomorrow, Pakistan meets New Zealand for second ODI in 3-match series. Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is Upama Shah with you, welcoming you to the news at 10. You have just heard the headlines, now moving on to the details. On the second day of Eid, the whole country, including the capital Dhaka, is buzzing with festivity. Everyone with family members are passing time with relatives and friends as long holiday of Eid al-Fitr continues. The children and teenagers rush towards amusement centers, including Children's Park and Zoo. On the occasion of Eid holiday, the tourist spots across the country were overcrowded with travelers. On the second day of Eid, the pressure of homebound people was noticed at the train station and bus terminal. Passengers were seen waiting for commuter train tickets at Komlapur railway station. Although the commuter train was overcrowded, the pressure on the intercity train was comparatively less. The bus terminals were a little bit crowded. However, there was no allegation of charging extra fare. The capital streets are now largely empty as most of the city residents left Dhaka for village homes to celebrate Eid al-Fitr with dear ones. As a result, travelling from one place to another in the capital takes much less time than usual. There is no excessive horn of vehicles and the usual crowds. In this peaceful Dhaka, many people are enjoying outings with their families in a relaxed mood. However, public transport drivers claim that their income has declined due to the reduced number of passengers. Traffic police said that with fewer vehicles on the roads, their workload has also decreased. They also urge the drivers to limit the driving speed as empty streets can lead to increased risk of accidents. Capital Dhaka has become empty as many people have travelled to their hometowns for celebrations due to an extended 9-day Eid holiday. The law enforcement agencies have tightened security measures across the capital to prevent crimes like theft, robbery and mugging. Surveillance has also been increased at bus terminals, railway stations, river forts and residential areas. Checkposts have been set up to inspect vehicles at important points of the capital. On-duty police officers said vehicles are being searched around the clock at these checkpoints and suspicious individuals are also being interrogated. The tight security measures which began before Eid will continue until the last day of the holiday to maintain safety of the city dwellers. The amusement centers in the capital were overcrowded with people centering the Eid. The city residents were rejoicing with their family members, including children, at various pleasure centers, including Children's Park and Air Force Museum. On the second day of the Eid, visitors thronged the capital's amusement centers. Shamli Children's Park added more color to the visitors' pleasure. Amusement lovers along with family members and friends came here to move around. Accompanying the parents, tiny tots also came here and enjoyed various rides. Besides, the Air Force Museum at Agargaon was also buzzing with visitors on the occasion of Eid. As Dhaka immerses itself in the vibrant lights of the Eid, seasonal rickshaw pullers arrive in the city to keep the wheels of life. Some of them are farmers and some of them are day laborers. While they spend most of the year in their villages, they came to Dhaka during Eid to earn extra money. However, their journey is not so easy. A new city and unfamiliar states adds up to a tale of struggle. Through their wary yet rhythmic pedaling, they keep the rickshaw wheels spinning, ignoring the sun and rain. They rush to this busy city, hoping to add a few strokes of color to their families' dreams. These rickshaw pullers come from Bogura, Kumilla, Faridpur and Mymensingh. However, rickshaw garage workers shared a different perspective. They claim that many regular rickshaw pullers have left Dhaka for Eid. Meanwhile, with the rise of battery-run rickshaws, traditional pedal-powered rickshaw pullers face growing concerns as their earnings decline. A bit of empathy from city dwellers to seasonal rickshaw pullers could be the true essence of Eid's beauty. Information and Broadcasting Advisor Mahfuz Alam said enforced disappearance and killing was orchestrated as a part of political campaign. He was exchanging Eid greetings with family members of enforced disappearance and political killing at Tejgaon in the capital today. Mahfuz Alam said police and Rapid Action Battalion RAB enjoyed authority to conduct enforced disappearance and political killings. Special squads were assigned to conduct such illegal and covert missions. He said Ainaghar existed in all parts of the country. There are many victims of enforced disappearance. Some people were abducted and sent to India. Some were found inside the prisons of India. The advisor said there is no accurate figure of victims of enforced disappearance, but the list is being prepared with assistance from Foreign Ministry. Members of BNP, Jamaat-e-Islami and other members of opposing ideology all were victims of Sheikh Hasina. The advisor said many Awami League leaders and activists are now staying at India. Sheikh Hasina is still conspiring against Bangladesh staying in India. He said Awami League was not a political party, it was a mafia group. We will never let them stand tall politically. Reform and elections are not different. Reform will go on like reform, elections will run like elections. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir stated this after exchanging views with the party leaders and activists at his Thakurgaon residence today. Referring to Chief Advisor's recent China visit, he said Chinese assurance for investment in Bangladesh's development is an optimism for the country. The BNP Secretary General pointed out that election will be held on the consensus of the opinion reached. Those to be elected will work for reforms. Besides, he said BNP gave opinion after reviewing reform proposals properly. Later, Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir exchanged Eid greetings with the BNP leaders and workers. Leaders and activists of district BNP and its associate bodies were present. Israeli forces launched raids on the Lebanese capital Beirut for a second time in a week, killing at least 4 people and endangering the ceasefire with Hezbollah. Meanwhile, thousands of Palestinians are fleeing Rafah in southern Gaza after Israeli forces ordered the evacuation of nearly the entire city and launched deadly attacks on the area. Palestinians in Gaza have held funerals for the 15 emergency workers Israeli forces killed while they were trying to rescue wounded civilians on March 23rd. At least 42 bodies and 183 injured people have been received by hospitals across the Gaza Strip in the past 24 hours. Gaza Health Ministry has said at least 50,399 Palestinians are confirmed dead and 1,14,583 wounded in Israel's attack on Gaza. Gaza's government media office updated its death toll about 2 months ago to more than 61,700. More than 2,700 people in Myanmar have been killed following a magnitude 7.7 earthquake that affected areas as far as Thailand and China. Myanmar's military government has declared a week of national mourning and observed a moment of silence today. Meanwhile, in neighboring Thailand, 20 people are known to have died and thousands have been evacuated from cracked buildings in Bangkok. Rescuers in both countries are still continuing their search for survivors, though hopes are fading as the critical window, the first 72 hours after a quake, has passed. The UN said the earthquake has compounded an already dire crisis in Myanmar, which is in the midst of a 4-year civil war. Despite the destruction, reports suggest the country's military leaders are still carrying out airstrikes against pro-democracy rebel groups. Bangladesh has sent the second mission of emergency medicines and relief supplies for the victims of the devastating earthquake in Myanmar. The supplies and medicines were sent this morning via 3 transport aircraft of the Bangladesh Army and Bangladesh Air Force following the instructions of Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus. The mission consists of rescue and medical teams composed of rescue experts from all 3 services and doctors. The total number of rescuers and doctors is 55. Additionally, there are 37 crew members on board in 3 aircraft. The relief items include 8 tons of dry food, 2.5 tons of water, 4 tons of medicine, 1 ton of hygiene products and 1.5 tons of relief tents. Earlier on Sunday, Bangladesh sent its first mission of urgent relief materials including medicines, tents, dry food and medical teams to Myanmar through the Bangladesh Armed Forces led by the Bangladesh Army. United States President Donald Trump has said his long-awaited reciprocal tariffs will be lower than what other countries charge, as uncertainty over his biggest trade announcement yet continues to roll global stocks. Speaking at the White House on Monday, Trump said the tariffs he is preparing to announce on Wednesday will be nicer than trade policies of U.S. trading partners. Trump said the measures would bring tremendous wealth back to his country. Trump's remarks came a day after he clarified that the tariffs would apply to all countries, pouring cold water on hopes that the measures might only target countries responsible for the bulk of the U.S. trade deficit. SpaceX on Monday launched its latest mission for paying customers. This time, a Crew Dragon spacecraft is carrying a cryptocurrency billionaire and 3 guests on a days-long trip that will orbit directly above Earth's north and south poles, a feat never attempted before. The mission, called FRAM-2, launched from SpaceX's facilities at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, lifted off around 9:46 p.m. Spearheading the FRAM-2 mission is Malta resident Chun Wang, who made his fortune running Bitcoin mining operations and paid SpaceX an undisclosed sum of money for this trip. Joining him are a trio of other polar exploration enthusiasts: Norwegian film director Jannicke Mikkelsen, Germany-based robotics researchers Rabia Og, and Australian adventurer Eric Phillips. After taking off from Florida, SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket had to fly south, tracing a path that no human spaceflight mission has ever traveled. Now, weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said rain or thunder showers with lightning flashes and temporary gusty wind is likely to occur at 1 or 2 places over Sylhet division. Besides, weather may remain dry with temporary partly cloudy sky elsewhere over the country. Night-day temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country. Country's highest temperature was recorded today in Rajshahi, 38 degrees Celsius, and capital Dhaka's highest temperature was 33.5 degrees Celsius. Now, news on sports. Pakistan will take on New Zealand in the second ODI of the three-match series in Hamilton tomorrow morning. The match will start at 4 a.m. Bangladesh Standard Time. New Zealand won the first match by 73 runs to take a 1-0 lead in the series. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Festive mood engulfs the country on the second day of Eid al-Fitr, people staying in close proximity of relatives and friends and exploring different forms of entertainment. Infamous traffic jam is totally absent in the unknown capital city, citizens moving to and fro without any hassle. Law enforcers watching with eagle eyes. Hundreds of visitors crowd in National Zoo in Mirpur in the capital. Children, teenagers and people from all walks of life visits entertainment hubs. Awami League is enemy of Bangladesh. Fascist Sheikh Hasina inflicted oppression on all to take revenge of assassination of her father, says Information and Broadcasting Advisor Mahfuz Alam. Bangladesh is on red map of 7 to 8 Richter quake after big earthquake rocks Myanmar, fear experts. Israeli forces kills 42 Palestinians in 24 hours in Gaza. Israel asks all to vacate Rafah city. And in Hamilton tomorrow, Pakistan meets New Zealand for second ODI in three-match series. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we invite you to watch our Midnight Bangla News. Until then,